Alright, we'll begin by talking about scale. Scale is super important right at this point because you do not want to be able to have to scale each one of these items independently. The doors should be a unit each, so I got 2 doors and then this frame. That's how it works. Now, also, we have to kind of look at your settings in Maya. So let's go to Preferences. Let's go to Settings and make sure you're in centimeters. Let's draw out a box. I'm going to scale this box up. And you're going to notice that the door is 139 centimeters. Give or take. Now, each door would be, roughly 88 centimeters. Somewhere around there. So scale is really important. You don't want to make this too small, or you'll have to scale it, and then scaling it inside the engine is probably not a really good idea. So, okay. Once you have this, you can start exporting it out. Hex mesh. Again, this is just like one of the previous lessons where we learned to import something into the engine. So, nothing new here. Okay. Export this as a left gate. Right gate. Oops. Then frame. Okay. Now I have these already imported in, so I'm going to save that step. Again, it was just one of those things that I want to show you how to export again, just in case you forgot. But if you look below here, I have my static mesh frame, door 1, and door 2, all imported in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, click on there, click on the floor, and add actor as static mesh. Just going to move this into position. To move it into position, I would highly suggest now you probably take off the view, drag, snap. When placing static meshes, I find it really annoying to kind of have the snap feature turned on. Okay, and you probably want to do this from like all views. Notice I put it about here so that it sinks into the wall some. It's sticking out just a little bit, but the rest of the components are actually inside the wall. This is fine. Okay. Now I'm going to place the doors. This time it's a little different. So I'm going to right click and add an interactor. An interactor is allowed to move around based upon Kismet and Manatee. Gonna make this frame just a little bit forward. That way I can get this door in here. And I might have to adjust this later a little bit too to get it to fit perfect. There we go. Because we don't want any clipping to occur like this. There we go. Add that one as an interactor also. There we go. So both doors are lined up. Now again, very important that you make sure there's no cracks or crevices because light will get through it and then it will look bad. So you should check these at all angles. Front, top, you can see right here, this is actually needs to be a little bit more lined up. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is light mask it out and kind of see how everything's flowing together. Also got this thing bleeding upon my other monitor, so I'm going to just kind of shrink this down a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to build all here. And play in editor. Good. Now, right now I can collide through the geometry. So that's fine. I had turned collision off because I want to see how light is interacting with this room. And you can see right now, I told you, it bleeds into every crack and crevice. Okay. Again, build all, test it out. A little bit better. Once I add a light inside the actual room, it should be a lot better. This light's going to be really bright, however, so. There we go. A little bit of a crack right here. Again, this is going to take forever, so usually when you get it all lined up, it does take, probably roughly 15 to 20 minutes of tweaking it around. So I'm going to leave it to the wolves and do the technical aspect of things. So I'm going to leave the light out for right now. And I only want to focus in on maybe moving the door around and showing you what properties need to be executed on this. For each static mesh, these are complex static meshes. So for each static mesh, I must generate collisions. Here's what the collisions look like right now. So if I go to collision and I go auto convex collision, you'll find that you're going to hit apply, and it's going to generate primitives that allow you to not clip through the mesh. Okay. What you want to do is take this number down a little bit until you can get the most simplified value. Right now, this would be too simple. This one right here would do without going overboard. Once you're done, you can close that out and close this out and go on to your other meshes like static mesh 1. This one has a collision. This collision, however, is a very simplified 6D OP collision. 6 dimensions. Same with this one. Okay, again, I used this one. Now for each static mesh, we have to do a little bit of tweaking around inside the actual properties of it. So the door, if I double click on it, it'll bring up this properties window. I usually keep this on my second monitor over here. Okay, under movement, we have to make sure it's physics interpolating, okay, which allows it to move. And the collision, we have to make sure it says block all. Again, this one, click on it, block all. Alright, so what that means is now when I play it in editor, I can basically run up to it, boom. Okay. Good. Make sure you save all, and let's go into the next video where I explain how to make a move via Kismet and via Manatee.